Caitlin Clark is doing things beyond her years.
Caitlin Clark is way better, way sooner than anybody thought.
Today we're hearing from 10 WNBA stars who've seen it all, and their opinions on Caitlin Clark reveal something amazing. What happens when a superstar arrives and changes everything? Someone so special steps onto the court that even the game's legends from the past and present can't help but take notice. 10 fabled voices, 10 distinct viewpoints. When the most successful women's basketball players in history talk about Caitlin Clark, their reactions range from pure amazement to audacious predictions about the sport's future. Before we break it down, please remember to subscribe to the channel. Are you ready? Let's get started.
Just absolutely did it all and became a magnet for attention and an icon for sports fans, certainly little girls, certainly mine as well, playing her basketball and watching her play.
Basketball fans saw something unique when Sabrina Ionescu and Caitlin Clark first faced off on May 16, 2024. These two generational talents who transformed the college game are now playing each other as pros, and their matchup captured everything that makes deep three-point shooting in basketball beautiful court vision and an unwavering spirit of competition.
What Caitlin's been able to do in the college game, continue to push it forward. She's selling out every arena she's going to, and obviously the WNBA is excited to bring her in market wherever she's going to end up, and continuing to push the game. Regardless of what she's doing, she's changing the game of basketball.
Even before Clark's WNBA journey started, the recently crowned WNBA champion became one of her biggest admirers. Ionescu said, "I'm really excited to see what she can do in the league," acknowledging a kindred spirit in Clark's style of play. But it wasn't only about their similarities. Ionescu specifically mentioned Clark's exceptional shooting range, pointing out that she can shoot from anywhere on the court, which alters the game's dynamics. Following their first encounter, Ionescu's regard for Clark only rose.
I hosted her and her dad at Oregon on when she came to visit, so we kind of go way back, and to be able to see her do what she did in college, and now being able to go up against her, I'm just excited to see what she's gonna be able to accomplish.
Throughout the season, their mutual affection has been evident in public as both stars have shared highlights and celebrated each other's accomplishments, demonstrating how fierce rivals can turn into unwavering allies.
Not the least bit worried about what she's going to be able to accomplish in the league. I just know she's going to continue to work really hard and stick with it, and good things will happen to good people.
Imagine having the greatest playmaker in NBA history examine every facet of your game. That's precisely what happened when Sue Bird, who has 3,234 career assists, turned her analytical eye to Caitlin Clark's rookie season. What she found altered everything she believed to be true about point guards.
I watched pretty much every single one of Caitlin's games early on because I am a fan. I do like good basketball, and of course I wanted to see how she would do. It was like, well, yeah, you have to. If you don't, she's going to drop 35 on you.
Drawing from her 2 decades of WNBA experience and 4 championship rings, Bird's analysis carried particular weight because she perceived something unique in Clark's game that distinguished her from typical freshmen: an innate understanding of court spacing and timing that typically takes years to develop. However, it was Clark's extraordinary court vision and decision-making abilities that really caught Bird's attention. Bird observed that Clark's ability to improve her teammates' performances stood out as a remarkable quality for such a young player, despite the fact that most first-year players struggle with the increased speed of the professional game.
But yeah, as I mentioned, Kelsey Mitchell's balling, Caitlin continuing to impress, and she's going to break records nonstop for the next couple years. Yeah. It's just going to be a constant record break.
Forward-looking Bird's evaluation of Clark's potential left no room for doubt. She stressed that Clark's ceiling is still extremely high, implying that we are only witnessing the start of what could be a transformative WNBA career. Nafisa, the current Defensive Player of the Year, recently rose to prominence in the WNBA. Before Clark ever entered the draft, Collier saw something unusual in the Iowa and Indiana Stars game. Her ability to shoot from deep alters the game's dynamics and puts pressure on defenses. This gave Collier a unique perspective on what lay ahead for Clark in the professional ranks. Here's Collier discussing Clark during her debut season after observing how her range compels defenders to modify their entire scheme.
It's just so crazy because the growth that Caitlin has brought to the game, the sheer amount of money that she's making these teams, people are having to move their venues for when she comes to play. I think she deserves that. I think she should be one of the top players in the world just for the sheer numbers that she's bringing. So I think that's something that needs to change, and that's what we're trying to do.
Through their numerous head-to-head encounters, you can see firsthand the competitive spirit that motivates Clark. She plays with a passion that spreads to her teammates, she said, emphasizing the intangible impact Clark makes. The term generational talent is frequently used to refer to more than simply numbers. But what happens when one true revolutionary player assesses another who has just finished her broadcasting duties? With the precision of someone who understands exactly what it takes to dominate from day one, Candace Parker dissected Clark's strategy.
And I think that's what she's done for the game, in general. I don't say women's basketball, I say the game of basketball, period. You want to see a show, and I think that that's the biggest thing. You always talk about Steph being a showman. I mean, this is a showman right here.
Yes.
You're able to have sellout crowds to come and see you play. You have student sections that hate you, that want you to lose. That's what sports is, and that's what competition is, and Caitlin's brought all of that and some.
Parker's analysis of Clark carries special weight because she is the first player in Wnba history to win MVP honors as a rookie. She sees something transformative in Clark's approach to the game. She has changed the game not just for women's basketball, but for basketball as a whole. Parker acknowledged Clark's wider influence on the sport.
Listen, you talk about players that change the game when they're on the court, whether they're touching the ball or not. You have to guard her when she steps into the gym. And so I don't think we've seen anything like that in women's basketball. I've played against a number of great shooters.
Yes.
Somebody that when they walk in the gym, you have to guard them. And I think the way the game is played has allowed her to showcase that skill, to be able to take that shot. That shot's being a good shot. It speaks to where basketball is right now.
Parker believes that Clark has the potential to become one of the all-time greats, indicating that we are witnessing the emergence of another revolutionary force in women's basketball. If you've made it this far and are enjoying the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications. She also notes that Clark's extraordinary basketball IQ and her ability to make plays that demonstrate understanding well beyond her years, combined with her unprecedented shooting range, create opportunities that simply didn't exist before. We appreciate you taking the time to watch this video, so let's get back to the action.
It's just really, really cool to think about one of those little girls became Caitlin Clark. So I think it just goes to show you, when you just do your best to be in the moment and treat people with kindness, and just be present when you can, it really makes a big difference. And looking at the type of person and leader that she can be with people.
However, Parker is not the only legend who sees greatness in Clark's future. Prior to Caitlin Clark becoming well-known, she had a chance encounter with her childhood idol, Maya Moore, which would mark the beginning of a mentor-protege relationship that even Moore herself could not have predicted.
All I ever wanted to do was meet her. I didn't have a phone. My dad didn't have his phone, so I just ran over. I was like, "Can you sign my shirt?" Signed my shirt, gave her a hug, ran away. It's like the most vivid memory I have of like women's basketball growing up, and like honestly, like I still tell everybody that story because it meant so much to me. It's like so cool. I still feel like I was this tall and freaking out, and I ran across the court, gave you a hug. I know. Now I'm like taller than you. Oh my God.
Moore saw something remarkable in young Clark's game from the moment they first met. Although Clark's raw talent was obvious, Moore was more interested in Clark's style of play. As his career developed, Moore was proud to see her protege grow into a powerful player on the court.
Maya, how does it feel that the best player in the women's game was inspired by you?
Oh man, it's a full circle moment. I remember being 10-year-old Maya going up, hugging, Cynthia Cooper or one of the legends, and just to see that we're still continuing to be able to be connected, to be inspired by each other, to be, family, right? I love the connection.
What most impressed her was Clark's capacity to motivate and inspire her teammates. She saw in Clark the same traits that had characterized her own illustrious career, the ability to uplift people around her and alter the course of any game. This bond peaked emotionally when Moore unexpectedly showed up at Clark's final regular season game at Iowa, a moment that represented the transfer of the torch from one generation to the next.
But it is so cool to see, just little seeds like that of how we treat each other, how we enjoy each other, how we see each other, and what that means. And now she's growing up, and look at her, and it's super cool. I'm just so proud. I'm so thanks.
Forward-looking Moore thinks that Clark's influence will go much beyond the court, motivating the upcoming generation of athletes who will influence women's basketball going forward.
Sitting there like, oh my God. But she's so crafty. This is what people don't know about Caitlin. She's not just a three-point shooter. She's a great passer, not a mediocre passer, not so-so. She is a great passer.
When WNBA pioneer Cynthia Cooper saw Clark take the professional stage, she saw something that reminded her of the revolutionary spirit that started the league decades ago. As critics questioned Clark's ability to transition to the professional game, the torch wasn't just being passed, it was blazing new trails. Cooper, a dual the WNBA MVP, made a strong defense and made a very clear declaration. Caitlin Clark, a player who helped set the WNBA's standard of excellence, is the future of basketball. These words have a great deal of weight.
I wish, Caitlin Clark had that experience this year because she's our future.
Beyond only quelling skeptics, Cooper's analysis focused on Clark's entire game, highlighting how the rookie has beyond rather than just met expectations. Cooper was drawn to her because of her versatility on the court and capacity to influence every aspect of play.
That level of greatness, that level of play on a consistent basis as a rookie puts you up in the upper echelon of any league, definitely the W.
When Cheryl Miller, the player who transformed women's basketball in the 1980s, first saw Clark play, she was particularly impressed by her offensive arsenal, especially her remarkable shooting range. Cooper was most impressed by Clark's competitive fire, drive, and determination to succeed, which reminded her of the same spirit that defined the WNBA's early pioneers. We haven't witnessed her shooting range in a long time. Miller saw that despite severe defensive pressure, Clark consistently created scoring opportunities.
You can set a screen for Caitlin. Caitlin don't need a screen. Caitlin's got great handles. The one thing that I don't think people really appreciate about that young lady's game, she can pass the ball. She can't pass. She got great assists. She the bounce pass is foul, which is almost non-existent in the game.
However, Miller's focus was drawn to more than just the numbers and highlights. Caitlin is a brand as well as a player. Miller noticed that Clark's captivating presence was increasing the WNBA's profile and attracting more viewers.
I hugged her. I said, I'm so proud of you. I go, savor this. Use this as a formula. I said, but keep being you. I said, no matter what, keep being you.
Forward-looking Miller's prediction for Clark's future is extremely clear if she keeps going in this direction. She has the potential to redefine what it means to be a superstar in women's basketball. Coming from basketball royalty, this was more than just praise. It was a transfer of the crown from one basketball legend's admiration to another's accurate analysis. Rebecca Lobo, a championship player and veteran analyst, saw something in Clark that others completely overlooked. Her technical analysis of Clark's game revealed patterns that would cause even the most skeptical scouts to reevaluate everything they believed brilliance, highlighting Clark's influence on Indiana's chances of making the playoffs.
Ends up leading the league in assists per game at 8.5, averaging 19 points a game as well. She had an absolutely remarkable rookie campaign.
With an eye on the future, Lobo's prediction was based on analysis and experience. There's no telling how high she may rise in this league if she kept going in this direction.
Caitlin Clark is one of the best rookie seasons we have ever seen by a player in the WNBA. She has the 5th highest assists per game average ever. She's only the 2nd rookie to lead the league in assists. The other one was Tisha Penicheiro back in 1998.
When 2-time MVP and 3-time champion Breanna Stewart first faced Clark, everyone anticipated a veteran teaching moment. However, Stewart left the game with observations that stunned even the most seasoned analysts, which caught the attention of the WNBA's newly crowned champion.
Caitlin is a great player, and I think the way that she's kind of came into this league, she's continuing to hold her own and show everyone what she can do.
What struck me, Stewart was most impressed not only by Clark's natural talent, but but also by her commitment to the craft, which is evident on the court. Stewart observed the rookie's dedication to excellence during their games. Clark's capacity to make her own shot while remaining composed under pressure had a profound effect on the MVP.
Back from the numbers, the viewership, the attendance, the way that she plays the game, she's ultra competitive. Her ability to really stretch the floor and find her teammates. So she has these games where it's like you have to guard her wherever she is.
But Stewart perceived something revolutionary in Clark's presence that went beyond the XS and OS. Caitlin's ability to electrify the audience is something rare for the league. She noted recognizing Clark's exceptional capacity to energize arenas around the nation when the most prolific scorer in WNBA history looks you in the eye and warns that reality is approaching. It tends to linger with you, however. Not everyone shared Stewart's instant faith in Clark's ability. Diana Taza's initial doubts about Clark led to heated discussion until an unforeseen circumstance altered everything.
Look, SVP, reality is coming.
Okay.
There's levels to this thing.
As the season progressed, Taza's viewpoint started to drastically change. At the last game, as Clark's fever overtook the Mercury Force Terracai, everyone realized they were seeing something incredible.
I mean, it's amazing. What Caitlin's been able to do in her short career so far has just been nothing short of remarkable. The one thing that I really love about her, she loves the game. You can tell she's put the work in. And even, throughout, her short WNBA career, it's been a lot of pressure, a lot of things thrown at her. And, she keeps showing up and keeps getting better every single game. So her future is super bright. And, being a veteran and being in this league for a long, long time, it's pretty cool to see that and, going into the future.
Now that there is mutual understanding between two generations of basketball greatness, Clark is acknowledged as a transformative force in women's basketball, exactly the kind of player the WNBA needs to advance the sport. When 10 of basketball's greatest, from Ionescu's early support to Taza's dramatic change of heart, it's obvious that we're witnessing something extraordinary. These legends recognize what Clark brings to the game, and their collective endorsements speak volumes about her. Potential to transform the sport. The Indiana Fever, who were once struggling to find their footing, are now playoff contenders. In addition to setting records and packing arenas, Clark is inspiring a new generation of players and raising the profile of women's basketball as a whole. Legends have spoken, and the future of the sport has never looked brighter. What do you think? Please